Hi everybody, I am here to do a two-parter vlog. Last week my vlog did not make it up. I attempted so many times to get it up. I didn't have my good camera, so I was trying to do it via my webcam on Windows Movie Maker, and it just kept deleting the file for whatever YouTube, and YouTube would not let me upload directly from their site. So I decided at that point, it was so late in the week anyway, I was just going to wait until I had my good camera, and hopefully that will fix whatever's going on with Windows Movie Maker, and hopefully YouTube has fixed whatever their issue is and I can actually get this up. So this is reviewing week 15 and week 16. Week 15 was a fairly easy week. We had a lot of craziness with the kids, but pregnancy-wise, it was pretty easy. I didn't have any appointments. Physical symptoms, so I was a little bit tired again, and then nothing really other than that physically, besides some veins. So the very end of 15 weeks physically, I did actually feel baby move. There have been several things in the last few weeks where I've been like, oh, is that baby? I don't know, maybe. And I'm sure some of that was and some of that wasn't, but there was nothing that was pretty definitive, like I am really sure that's baby, until last Monday night. So 15 weeks and 6 days, we were sitting on the couch watching some TV, and I just felt a little fishtail flick across my stomach, and I was like, I am pretty sure that's baby. And it only lasted for a second or two, and then it went away, and then I felt one more a few seconds later, just a second or two, and then I didn't feel it again for the rest. Really exciting. I was sure enough that it was baby that I actually told Jeremy that I was pretty sure I was feeling baby. So that was really cool. 15 weeks emotionally was pretty easy pregnancy. TMI. During week 15, I did a 5K, and I did notice that when I was doing my 5K, I had a really terrible sports bra, and so it was partly my fault. But while I was running in my 5K, my boobs were hurting really, really bad, to the point where they started burning, and it just started right around my nipples that were burning, and then it just like went all the way. So a 5K is 3.1 miles, and that started at about 1.25 miles and lasted all the way through. My boobs burned for probably 30 or 40 minutes afterwards, and then when I got home to take a shower, I noticed that I had some clear fluids leaking from my nipples. So that was kind of interesting. It was nothing big, nothing major. It was just a couple drops from each side, more on my left than on my right. It's about the time where your body starts really getting ready in terms of colostrum and breastfeeding, so I have started leaking colostrum today, but I have been noticing some crustiness on my nipples. That sounds really gross, but it looks more like dead skin, and it's just little tiny bits here and there every day for probably the last 2 or 3. So I think it's a combination of dead skin and some colostrum leaking. So that's pretty much it for week 15. Oh, and last week, baby was the size of an avocado. Less than 5 minutes. Yes. Today I am 17 weeks and 1 day. I meant to get this video up yesterday. However, I babysat twice during the day yesterday, and we have been having a lot of homework craziness with the kids, so I basically had, and for the most part, the tired has subsided. There are kind of some days where it hits harder than others. Otherwise, I do still get hungry, but I am finding that I can't eat as much again. I had gotten to a point where I could kind of eat a normal sized meal, and now everything's getting stale. And the last couple weeks, we have been so busy that I have been eating terribly, and I really need to fix it. I am terrified not only of gaining too much weight, but of gestational diabetes. Physical symptoms. I am growing. I feel like, I don't really feel like I am getting bigger and bigger. until somebody I know points it out, or until I really look at my weekly photos and then I go, whoa, I grew in general. But when I look in the mirror with clothes on, I just kind of feel like I look like I did when I was heavier. I feel like I'm just kind of gaining some chub. And it doesn't really hit me that I do look a bit pregnant until I look at the weekly photos. I am noticing that my bump is legitimately growing. So when I lay down, the skin across my hips used to go like flat when I lay down, not when I was standing up, but flat when I lay down or just a little bit dipped. And now from my hip, it definitely bumps up. Kind of cool. I did have a midwife appointment this weighed in. I had lost a little bit more weight, which is really kind of steadying out at this point. I'm not losing anymore, and I'm kind of bouncing back between 9 pounds lost and 11, 12 pounds lost. So she measured my uterus, and my uterus is totally lopsided. I do notice there are days where baby likes to sit on the right or sit on the left, and the only reason I notice that is not because I can feel the baby, but because when I lay down, my stomach will pop up a little bit in the middle, but then like pop up a bunch on the right side, so it's kind of funny. Of the top of my uterus, it's kind of interesting. So here's my belly button, and here's where about your uterus should be at 20 weeks. And so my right side is measuring about 21 weeks, and my left side is measuring about 19 weeks. Which at the time I was only 16 weeks and 2 days. So either way I was measuring big. Kind of funny. So I talked to her, I was like, that kind of terrifies me for how big I'm going to get in the next, 24 weeks. And she goes, it's probably not really much of anything. Some women just get bigger a little bit earlier on, but realistically it might also be because you do drink so much water, you may just have a little bit more amniotic fluid than other people. I think the only thing that's a little bit weird is that one side is measuring higher than the other, but that sometimes happens. Makes sense. I have been feeling baby more, which was confirmed when she was listening to the heart rate with the Doppler. The baby was moving, and a couple of those movements I could feel, and they felt the same as what I had felt on that. And then since doing the Doppler on Thursday with the midwife, I have felt baby more and more. So mostly those little fishtail type of movements. I have felt a thump here and there. And then there was one point on Sunday where we were sitting with friends, and it had to be baby rolling. And the only reason I say that was because it wasn't just a tiny little flick. It wasn't just a tiny little thump. It was like this bigger area, just probably a couple, that all of a sudden it was just like this motion, and it kind of felt like what I imagine clothes in the washer would long, and it felt like this just whoosh. I was like, whoa, what are you doing? And I did have to do some blood work for the anatomy scan stuff, for testing for like spina bifida and things like that. So we will be doing the anatomy scan on the 20th. Yesterday I had a little bit of a freak out. Somebody very kindly sent me their at-home Doppler, and I had not planned on using it unless I was really, really worried about something, but I caved and I did it anyway, even though I wasn't worried about anything. And I found baby's heartbeat, but it sounded really far away, so I kind of freaked out. And then the next morning, yesterday morning, I was feeling baby quite a bit in the morning. So that was quite a bit of reassurance. The kids keep wanting to try and feel baby, and they're pretty funny. They'll put their hand on my stomach and they go, oh, I felt the baby. I'm like, I wasn't feeling the baby then, so I definitely know you weren't feeling the baby then, but it's kind of funny to watch them. They get so excited. They've been talking to my belly and touching my belly, and that emotionally, week 16 was a pretty good week other than my little freak out. There haven't been many TMI symptoms, except I have had more colostrum. At this point, I have started wearing nursing pads, so we did get a couple of baby buys in. I will show you the diapers I got in the next video. I already put them into the... I had a day that I had some time. I didn't really want to go home in between. And so I went to Babies R Us thinking that I would just look around at like the strollers and stuff, see if they had the 3 different strollers that I am looking at. And they didn't. They only had one. But I started looking around the clothes, which is silly. But I found this one shirt that I just could not. This sweatshirt, it's so cute. I ended up getting it in 3-month instead of newborn because I like it so much that I want it to last. I kind of figure I can just roll up the sleeves for newborn. But I thought it was so cute. It's just like a little monster with a zipper. It has a little pocket right here, like they use it, but whatever. But this zipper opens and it's a little mouth. So we've been talking about switching the older two to a full-size bed. Right now they're in the convertible cribs. They're not in the crib style, but it's in like the day beds. But I kind of feel like we need to do at least some little things to make them kind of feel like they have some special stuff going on too, and that not all of the attention is going to baby, not all of the new stuff is going to baby. So we started looking at full-size beds and they're really expensive. So we've decided that we're going to, or I am going to build them. So I've got a bunch of building projects to go on in the next, 5 months, 4.5 months happen. And we're starting to look at costs of additions and into different contractors and stuff in our area so that we can kind of get that figured out as well and have a really good solid idea of what it's going to cost and what we're going to do. I don't have any more appointments until the 22nd, and then I have a midwife appointment on the 7th to find out. We have our envelope that has our sex results inside of it. So in the house, an envelope knows whether we're having a boy or a girl. We do not know yet. We've decided we're going to wait until Christmas, which should be interesting because on the 22nd is when we're having that anatomy scan. And so we're going to have to be really careful not to see any little lady or little boy bit. So Christmas, I will be making a vlog and I'll upload that probably the day after Christmas. So the day after Christmas, you can all see if we're having a girl or a boy. I'm not sure when we will announce name. So I will talk to you guys later. I will insert week 15 and week 16 belly pictures at the end, and I will talk to you guys later.